Welcome to the Pain SA podcast, where we discuss the devastating and long lasting effects resulting from parental alienation. I'm your host, Dominic Charles, and I have been alienated from my daughter on and off for almost 12 years, and I've had no access or contact with my daughter since August 2021. The aim of this show is to create awareness, influence change in the legal system, and reunite fathers with their children. Please note that the users of all parental alienation intervention network South Africa, hereby known as PAIN SA, and all its subsequent media platforms, affiliated groups, projects, companies, take no responsibility or risk for the use of PAIN SA and related media entities such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and all subsequent similar related media platforms used by PAIN SA. We accept no responsibility or liability for any views or related topics, verbally, written, or otherwise, by users on PAIN SA's media and or other platforms or entities as mentioned herein. We accept no responsibility, liability for any views expressed or actions taken by users of the PAIN SA group, its affiliates, or platforms of expression. We accept no responsibility or liability to any person as a consequence of any reliance upon the information given on the site. Under no circumstances, including negligence, shall anyone involved in creating or maintaining PAIN SA working content and maintenance therefore be liable for any direct or indirect damages from testimonials given by independent guest speakers invited to relay their personal testimonies, beliefs, or opinions on PAIN SA's live show or posts. Busy day, upside down. You see, I didn't even have my mic in front of me. It's always crazy on my side. How's everyone doing? I hope you had a wonderful, what day is it today? Wednesday. I almost said Tuesday. Hope you had an awesome Wednesday. Right, I see we've got one viewer online there. Please give me a thumbs up. Let me know if the stream is okay, if you can hear me clearly, see me clearly. Right, I know it's been raining this side, so I hope that hasn't affected my connection. Okay, today we're going to be discussing, and I know some of you might not like what I'm going to say, but yeah, I speak to fathers every day now, and you're starting to sound like, sorry to say, and this isn't putting a label on women, but you're starting to sound like women, just complaining about what's happening and not doing anything about it. Right, so today is just a brainstorming session. I am not one to just complain, although it does help to share your thoughts and the injustices that are happening to you, but what are you doing about it? And today that's what we're going to discuss. Hopefully there's some guys that's going to come on and actually share their thoughts, because offline we all have a lot to say, or on these little groups that we go on to and then just complain. um, and then here's another thing that I want to ask: what do you get out of posting on these groups? Do you ever get any help from there? Do the solutions work? Because I've seen some crazy solutions from people that don't even make sense and haven't been proven before. So I'm kind of I'm kind of tired, and it again sounds like I'm complaining, but This time, I'm here to get some solutions from you guys. So let's start with the first question. What do you actually want to happen in your situation? Right, I'll go first. In my situation, I've been in my daughter's life since she was a baby. Right, I had to fight to be there in the beginning. I got my protection order. No, sorry, not my protection order, my parenting plan, my court order, divorce decree, all that stuff. Right, and now it's just reoccurring. So yes, there's an injustice, but what do I do about it? Okay, I can either sit and complain, or hey, here's what I started doing. I started a podcast, right, to talk about these things, and we find a solution. So that's one thing that I did about it. So type in the chat, what do you think you can do about it? I'm not saying that everyone should go out and start a podcast, but what are you doing about your own situation? What do you want to happen? Let's start with that question. All right, what would you like? What would be ideal for you in your situation that would just move the needle just a little bit, just 1% better? That would make you feel like you haven't been um, done a dirty, so to say. Right. So type in the chat, what do you want to happen in your case? Right. What I want happening in my case is I would just like to go back to how I used to see my daughter. It would be ideal for me to see her more, because now I don't get to see her at all for no good reason. But that would be a start where I just got to see her as normal again. And if our relationship could go back to what it was, because we had a beautiful relationship. If you guys don't know, you can actually check out on YouTube. I've got a little intro video there, and you can have a little glimpse of what my relationship was with my daughter before this second bout of alienation happened, right? So that's what I would like happening, and then eventually uh, I would like my daughter actually to live with me permanently, since she's old enough to make a decision. I know for a fact, she's told me before that there's things that she's not quite happy with at the mother's place, and she feels a bit uncomfortable talking about, because she feels that she's gonna get into trouble. But yeah, I would like her to try living with me for a few years and see how that oh, a couple of months even, for that matter. Okay, so that's what I would want to happen. Okay, what can you do other than complain? Right. So what I can do other than complain, I have tried various avenues. I've gone to social workers. I've gone to the children's court. I've been sent from pillar to post, been to police, back and forth. And I guess I just lost hope. So what can I do other than complain is probably not lose hope, continue. And through this podcast, I've actually attracted some other fathers who have spoken about their wins and losses, and I've actually learned a lot. I've had Shaw on the other day, who is a family lawyer, who has told me something that I didn't know about having a court order and how to actually institute it. Did you know that you can actually skip the whole process of going to the children's court, and if there's enough violations, at least six, then you could use your court order to actually file a contempt of court case, and that's done at the police station. Now I don't have the all the details on that, on how to do it. I need to do it first myself, but that's one of the things that I have found out. So other than complaining, you can share your story, but then also come up with solutions, right? That's that's what you can do. So type in the comments there, what can you do? There we've got Clayton. Right. Let's hear what Clayton has to say. Let the vindictive female sort out her own mess. Okay, sort out her own mess and start building a real and prosperous relationship with our children. And not before she addressed and start working on her own issues. What I want, okay, is get full custody over my children. Right, what I'm going to do, save up money for an advocate and see the vindictive lady in high court. All right. Yes, contempt of court is what I've learned. And these are the things that we are going to, I'm actually going to discuss this in an upcoming workshop. I'm just trying to get the professionals together to agree to joining in on this workshop. It will be a paid workshop, but yes, um, it's a it's it's a strategy. At least, Clayton, you have a solution here that you're going to save up for an advocate, but then again, that money could be going to your child. So how about, and this is just a suggestion, not turning your solution down. I do appreciate you actually coming with a solution, but it's about educating ourselves. There's cheaper ways of doing this, right, and still winning. I've actually got the father that's coming on tomorrow that's defended a protection order successfully. I know I've done that successfully in court before. So I sometimes don't understand why guys lose these protection orders, especially if you're not guilty of it. Okay, so yes, the word is contempt of court, right? Apparently, if you've got more than 6 violations on the court order, again, this needs to be verified, so don't hold me to it. But if you go back a couple of episodes where I had Shal on, we spoke about it there, and he's the expert in this. I am going to bring him on again. He's just very busy at the moment now, with a couple of cases, but I am bringing him back on, probably it could be towards the end of this week or early next week. Okay, so hit the like button if you'd like Shao to come back on, or also type in your question here. So I hope that answers your question there, Clayton. Instead of saving up for an advocate, maybe just try and educate yourself on the law. Okay, so Google contempt of court, and whatever orders you got against you, start with research first, right? Oftentimes, I know when I defended myself 10 years ago with a sole contempt, sorry, with a protection order, all I did was read. I read about the proceedings, I read other cases, I knew going in there how to deal with it. There's a cross questioning phase, so the case is presented first, and then you've got an opportunity to ask questions, and you just need to make sure that your questions are valid and that they lead to the answers that you want, right? So for instance, if you have been assaulted by your ex, a good question to ask is, did I ever assault you? Your ex would say no if she's truthful. And then you ask, well, did you assault me? And if you can prove that you've had a case open before, J88, whatever the case may be, sometimes you don't even have to prove it. They just crack in court. My ex broke down and cried, uh, from all the questions. I kept him there for 3 hours. So sometimes being patient and waiting out the whole thing, and also having your facts together, right? You can't go in making accusations. You have to have some backing here, right? You have to have evidence, right? Things that you can prove, text messages, phone calls. Um, if you've got voice messages, I know they do request that you have them transcribed. Okay, so yeah, if you do not have the time and patience to go through the whole research process, then I mean, every episode so far that we've had on this show, is, well, I've learned something new, right? So go back, watch. This could be your research here. I know it's not the greatest. We're still working on production and all of that, but I know for sure this has helped me. It's definitely given me new direction. All right. So um, next question: what are you fighting for? Right. Often we go in the battle not having a clear reason for fighting. You just want the child with you. I've seen in another group a father. I don't want to pull up that group now. Just now I get in trouble. But this father says that he he has requested for primary residence from, well, in court, or I'll have to read that again. But he's requested for primary residence, and it's not granted to him. They told him that it's, well, because it's a 13-month-old little girl, she can't be with him. So he wanted to know why. Now there's a bunch of answers that came in there, and my question was, first of all, why do you want primary residence? Okay, your reasons for wanting primary residence must be valid, and that's often the problem that we have. That's the we go in the battle with no ammo, with no reasoning behind it. Okay, so if you say that I want primary residence because my child is being abused and I've got proof of it, then prove it. Prove it and keep on proving it. I know that Clayton has told me about this problem that he's had before, but you can't give up. You have to be persistent. Sometime, somehow, somewhere, someone will listen to you eventually. All right. We can't say that every social worker is bad and they don't do their job. You've just probably been dealing with the wrong one. We know there's corruption. We know, and we know all the problems. We know the injustices. But at the end of the day, instead of complaining, persistence is one thing that pays off, right? I've done an episode on sales, and I know it might have been confusing to some people, but I feel that you just need to become a better salesman. A car salesman doesn't uh, cry on social media when someone doesn't want to take his offer. He finds other ways of getting people to take that offer. So leave your comment. What are you fighting for? Have a clear reason of what you are fighting for, okay? And I don't want to put words in your mouth. What I'm fighting for is my child's freedom. My child's freedom to be able to express herself. Right now, she doesn't have an identity of her own anymore. She acts like a mother. I don't want my child to act like me or a mother. She must have an identity of her own. She must have things that she likes and dislikes without being persecuted for them. That's freedom. I want freedom to be able to move, for her to come to me like she wanted to, or at least give a valid reason to not come to me anymore. Right? So I'm fighting for the rights of my child to be an individual. That's one thing, just one of the many things. I'm also fighting for the abuse to stop against her. As we've discovered, the mental abuse resulting from parental alienation is long lasting, it lasts forever. Children end up doing drugs and ending up in dead end relationships, abusive relationships, because that's what they are used to. That's what they've seen their whole lives, and that's what they've been taught is normal. Right? So I'm fighting for my daughter not to end up with an abusive man one day. So have a clear reason about what you are fighting for, and, well, don't stop fighting. All right. So type in the comments there. What do you feel? All right. Here we've got Etienne. Etienne, full custody is causing a lot of BS in the system, as well as family and bond between parent child. 50-50 is truly the closest one can go for. I agree. I absolutely agree with that, Etienne. But here's a question. At what point is 50-50 okay, and where do we draw the line? And th- this is my reason for that question. Let's say the one parent is in and out of abusive relationships, right? Do we still fight for 50-50? Is 50-50 still okay if the mother, let's say, just has a boyfriend every couple of years, and then has kids with that boyfriend, and all of a sudden they've broken up and your child now has a new man in their life? Is that fair on 50-50? I don't think that's an environment for a child, and that should be fought for. That's just one of the examples. So when is 50-50 okay, and when isn't it okay, right? And what should we do about it? So 50-50 is the best we will get if you do not have serious violation facts. Well, Clayton, that is true right now, but here's my solution. Um, the more and more fathers come forth, you see, one thing that we're trying to create here with this whole thing is awareness. Right now, if you've got 1,000 or 10,000 fathers coming forth and saying that we've got the exact same problem, then it's impossible to ignore. Here's the thing: we don't stand together, right? Which is going to be my next point. So Etienne says even a criminal has his or her rights. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But again, they will always talk about the best interest of the child. So here's my thought on that: is it in the best interest of the child to be around um, abusive men, right? Other than the father that they've been falsely accused of. So scenario: a father's been falsely accused that he's abusive, but the man who lives around your child with the mother has been proven to be an abusive man. Is that does the mother still have the right, to have 50-50 parenting, putting the child in an abusive environment? Leave your comments. Let me know if you think that that is an ideal 50-50 situation right there. Right. And again, guys, we're just brainstorming. This is a session where we're just sharing our thoughts here and trying to figure out what is the best, and then taking that and enforcing it, right? Creating an action plan around it so that we actually get these things, you know, part of legislation, part of what should be a standard. Okay. So Etienne says village children. What do you mean by village children there, Etienne? Uh, Let me know in the chat there what you think about village children. By the way, guys, feel free to come on board. I'm gonna leave the link there quickly in the comments. So if you'd like to just come on the show now and just let me pass the mic to you. This is pass the mic, however. um, yeah, just come on to the show and let's talk it out. Let's hash it out. Okay, recommending changing the bylaws. The steps towards that should be the High Court, an advocate that is being nominated, and we, the abused men, fund the cause. Well, that's actually a good suggestion there, Clayton. Right? But so, would you be willing to fund a cause like that if that was possible? Right? Would you put money towards the bylaws being changed or legislation being changed here so that we can actually exercise our rights, right? Because we do have rights, by the way. um, Here's another thing that I've discovered, guys, something that we don't know about. I keep hearing, and I can't reveal the sources right now, but I keep hearing that the Children's Act has been amended, right? And we don't know about it. We don't know. Apparently, last year even there was an amendment to the Children's Act. Again, I don't want to say something out of context here, so I'll make sure about that. But do you know about the the act being amended where fathers have more rights? Because as far as I was told is that we already we already supposed to have 50-50, and we just don't know about it. So I keep hearing these different things, and these are from people who are self-litigating and actually winning their cases in courts, with social workers and so forth. But just by educating themselves, by knowing that there's these these things that have been changed to the act that we just don't know about. So type in the comments if you've heard anything about that. And yeah, maybe we need the updated Children's Act. Let me see if I can pull that up quickly, because we're still going on the 2005. So let me see if there were amendments, if I can pull it up here on Google. Because this thing that we're going in all separate directions, and there's 1,000 solutions for this thing. I know that there's no one size fits all, but surely there should be procedure, and there's only so many scenarios that we know about, and almost every scenario where it includes a man, uh, there's a there's false charges, as far as I've seen. Right, there's always false accusations, and I mean, mine stems back from 10 years ago. So it's appalling on how easily it happens now still, like 10 years from now, what is every man gonna be in jail or with an abuse charge against them? So let's check here. Amendment to the Children's Act. All right. Children's Amendment Bill 2020, eh? Okay. Yeah, seems to be something there. Okay, guys. So this you can do on your own, but I'll definitely find out if there's where exactly this is, and let me just post this link here, right? There you can actually just read up on that for yourself. We're not gonna spend a whole uh what is it, 71 pages there to this document. So there, I made it easy for you. Just click on the link. See there if you can find anything. Here's another one. This is the let's see here. It's amended by. Yeah, there were a couple of amendments that I've heard about, but like I said, I will vet everything. I will get the right information, and I will share it in future podcasts. Okay, but there's the other link there. Okay, so let's start by educating ourselves, right? And again, if there's any other, what are you fighting for? What are you fighting for? Just answer that question for me. Right, I've given my reasons for what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for my child to live a decent, um how do I put this, a decent life without mental abuse, right, where she can express herself without feeling afraid. That's just one of the many reasons I'm fighting for, right? And here's a fact, right, not a question. It's more effective to fight this thing together, not everyone going in their own direction. Picture this: 100 fathers pitch up at court for one father's case, right? With media and everything there, and we don't need the news. We go live. Everyone just goes live there at court on Facebook, YouTube. We have our own news coverage, right? How powerful would that be, right? Where Clayton goes to court next time, and there's 50 fathers standing outside there with picket signs saying that we want justice, right? That's in my opinion what we need right now is to come together, because yeah, these groups are okay. You go on there, you complain a little, what happened to you today, but then what do you get out of it, right? When it comes to actually standing together, and I've seen this last year when there was the amendment of the children's bill. I think we were in total 10 people. That's 10 people in the whole Gauteng that went there, and it was a public hearing. So that's my point. And then you come back on social media the next day and cry. So Come on, guys. What are the solutions here? Do you agree? Do you agree that uh, it will be powerful to have an army behind you, even if it's just 10 people going with you to court? It's better than you standing there alone. Gives you more confidence. Let me know in the comments if you feel that would help. That's a way that we can go, right? Anyone wanting to come on there? I'm gonna post that link again there in the comments before I go into some proposed solutions, because I didn't just come on the show without any solutions. I'm going to share with you what we have planned. But there's the link again, that StreamYard link. All right, I'm bringing it up on screen here. Click on that link and you'll be able to come online with me now and let's chat about it. Let's talk. Right? What are your problems and what are your proposed solutions? I don't want to hear complaints anymore from anyone. I want you to come, and if you truly don't have, if it's like your first rodeo with this whole thing, if you truly don't have a clue of what's happening to you and why it's happening, then I understand. But if you've been fighting this for months and years and you're still just complaining, come on, man. We men, it is our job to figure things out. Whatever happened to us? Hmm? What's happened to us with figuring out problems, having solutions to it? That's why we're not taken serious. That's just in my opinion again. If you disagree, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so I see no one's planning to come online. It's fine. Right, let me go into some proposed solutions here. Right, listening to all these problems from everyone constantly has me thinking of what can we do better. How can we work around this? Okay, so the one thing you probably heard me mentioning this before is that we are developing a masterclass, and it includes the education on personal development, self-help techniques. Right, when I speak about personal development, it's about how to get yourself out of that mindset of being a victim, because yes, you have to accept that you are a victim of this, but then you can't remain a victim. You have to snap out of that, because that's the only way that you're going to get to do something about it. Okay, so that's what I mean by personal development and self-help techniques. Okay, um there's also going to be legal education. There are mediators, there's lawyers that have reached out and are willing to give their help. I just want to make sure that we've got the best one, and that they're not going to use this platform just to extort and exploit people. Right? Etienne seems to Etienne seems to be agreeing with me. Thanks, Etienne. We would appreciate a buddy going through this. Yes, everyone could use. I know for a fact, um, and not just people pitching up there, but making a noise at court, standing outside that social worker's room there or whatever, the office, standing outside the police station and having that support. That's the community that I would like us to build. Right, I know that would have solved a lot of problems for us a long time ago. One example are the political parties. I mean, look at the EFF can go around burning places down, but they're doing it collectively and they get away with it. I'm now not saying that that's the plight. That's not what we want to do. We obviously want to fight and be peaceful at the same time, fight for our rights. But look at what they are able to accomplish collectively, standing together with one voice. Make sense? Right. So thanks for your vote of confidence there, Etienne. Right. So that's the one thing. Number one, we are planning on a masterclass. We're busy developing it. We've got the framework already. What we need from you is your input, okay? And I just want you to answer this one question. I am going to do a survey later on, but type in the comments, what is the one thing that stands in the way of you getting what you want? Right? You've already answered the question of what do you actually want, right? What is the one thing standing in the way of getting what you want? Whether it's access to your child, whether it's that 50-50, what's the one thing standing in the way? Everyone's got a different answer to this. When I've asked, some may say it's a protection order. Some may say it's the social worker. Some may say it's the ex, well, confiscating the child's phone. Everything that I've mentioned now has a solution to it, and there's steps that we need to follow. And this is going to be taught inside of the masterclass. Make sense? Right? But we can only make this a worthy masterclass if we've got your input on it. Okay. So type in the chat below now. What is the one thing that is standing in the way of you having access with your child, or standing in the way of what you actually want, whether it be more access, whether it be complete custody of your child? What is it? What's that one thing standing in the way, right? And then here's something that you can do. You can do right now is you can share these lives. Let me just change that display there. Okay, here's a suggestion. Just share this lives. If you do anything to help us reach more dads. In the past month, we've reached 9,000 people, close to 9,000 people, just with organic traffic. That's just sharing. That's just being active with us. And if that's all you do, then you've done something. Okay, participate. Come on the live, share your story. I see Etienne saying there, dollar, dollar, dollar. What does that mean, Etienne? What's dollar, dollar, dollar? All right, there we go. Derek saying something there. What do you do if the mother does not adhere to a court order? Okay, so I did actually mention that, Derek. This is just from what I've been told. You actually go to the police station and you ask them to open a case of contempt of court. We've covered that in the previous episode with Shah. So yes, you can just go to the police station, but you have to kind of package it for them, because apparently they don't like doing all the paperwork. So you must have your facts in order, and it's not just after one offense. You have to have a couple of offenses. 6, Shah mentioned, is the sweet spot. If you've got more than that, put all the dates, times, and it has to be accurate. So you have to put in your file, in the contempt file, that on said date the mother has restricted me from access, and this is how she's done it. Right? She's actually sent a message saying that you are not going to see the child because she's sick. Right? Your argument is, okay, so why can't I take my child to the doctor? You the father, you capable. So hope that makes sense. Right? So you have these 6 incidences, and then you go and file that court order. Does that answer your question there, Derek? I know you, well, Derek's coming on tomorrow, so I think he's just asking me a trick question there. Am I right, Derek? You're just testing me, ain't you? All right. But you the protection order king. Right? But that's what the protection order that you defended. Right? Court orders, well, that's the answer to it. Contempt of court. And by the way, the contempt of court cases go straight to the criminal court. Right? Court order, violating that actually goes against the law. It's a criminal offense to violate a court order, and that many people don't know. I know that I have also lost faith when I went to the children's court, but then that is the problem. We're going through the wrong process. You need to enforce the court order by filing contempt of court. Right. There we go. Thanks, Derek. Right. So back to number two, right? Number one, I said that we are creating a masterclass. So who would like to join the masterclass? We're going to do this for free for the first 20 people, right? We need to make sure that everything in the masterclass actually works. But we are going to then charge for it because we need to raise funds to keep this course going, right? So if you would like to join the masterclass, type in the chat. I think we've got 3 people so far since I've mentioned it that want to join. So there's still 17 spots left. Type in the chat masterclass if you'd like to join. If you'd like to join in on the masterclass for free, right? And be a beta tester, meaning that, well, you can literally just use everything we teach you there, and you'll have the support. You'll be able to give us feedback as to what you've been advised to do actually works, right? Unlike with a lawyer and advocate, you don't get your money back there, and it's not for free. All right. So that's one solution there that you can count on. We will not release it or charge anything for it until it actually provides results. And the reason for that is that we've actually noticed that there are various people, mediators included, lawyers included, and now people that are not even, they don't even have any legal backing. Their solutions don't even work, but they're charging money for it. And that is, I don't know how ethical that is, but that's not how we operate here. Right. And then there's this. Sorry, let me just change how this displays here on the screen. Okay, here's another thing you can do. We're planning an upcoming workshop. So this is just going to be a mini workshop where we'll run it over a weekend. Okay, now this is just in an idea phase, but it will be in the next 2 weeks. Okay. And what will happen in this workshop is that you actually get to interact with professionals. You get to come on live, and it's unlike these lives. These professionals will be open to answering every and any question, but it is a minimum of $100 to join, right? So if you would like to actually join that workshop, type donate in the chat, and you'll be taken through the chat bot. You'll also be getting a notification as to when this workshop is starting. Okay, like I, pardon, like I said, in the next 2 weeks is what we're planning to have this workshop up and running, and have mediators, lawyers, everyone included as a professional in this. I'm trying to get psychologists as well, right? So if you do know of any good psychologists, psychiatrists, or therapists, people, play therapists as well, please do. Actually, don't drop their details just live. Yeah, we don't want poppy act problems. Message the page. All right, you can just type subscribe and then send us a message with who you recommend as a good therapist or a psychologist, anyone in the mental health space. That's the one person that we short. Okay, and then I think we'll have a good workshop over the weekend where you can ask. So obviously there's going to be a lot of information presented, but you'll be able to have your questions answered, all right, by professionals. So if you'd like that, that's besides the masterclass. Like I said, the masterclass is a beta version, but when I bring these professionals on, they actually need to be paid. Unfortunately, they will not pay. I mean, they won't do anything for free, obviously. So let me know. All right, thank you. There we go. Etienne says, awesome plan. Derek says, count me in. Awesome. Thank you, guys. And that's the support that we need. All that we need to do. Biki Biki Mark Bayer. Nah, that's what they say. Biki Biki Mark Bayer. So It's not a lot of money, guys. It's $100. It also helps this channel. It helps us reach more fathers. We're gonna start doing paid advertising. I am a social media expert. I'm a digital marketer, so I know how to run ads and target fathers like us with this content, so that we can grow this community and have more people coming together and standing together and making the necessary change that we need here in South Africa. All right, guys, that's all the ideas from me. Like I said, if you do agree, just type donate in the chat, right, for the upcoming workshop. And the benchmark that I'm gonna set is that we need at least 100 people to make it worthwhile. Okay, and it's going to be done privately, so your 100 rand won't go to waste. It's not like we just going to open it up for everyone. No, you have to contribute to get this advice from the professionals. Okay, it will go to paying for the professionals. Hopefully I can get those doing for pro bono, and with the balance of that, with a change of that, I mean, do the math. If it's 100 by 100, we're looking at 10,000 rand, and we can actually run campaigns all across South Africa and get fathers who are on the brink of giving up. Right? I don't like saying this all the time, but there are fathers that are committing suicide almost every day that can't deal with this. Right? And I'm not saying this, I'm not excluding mothers, but let's face it, this is a dad problem. It's much easier for a mother to win their children than what it is for men. Right. Yeah, I see Derek saying Backer Buddy is a good organization. I'll look into that. The only thing I don't like about these Backer Buddy and all of those organizations, Derek, is that they also take a piece off the top. But if they not doing, if they don't charge for going through them, then I'll definitely look into that. There are other avenues as well, but we've actually built in just in PayPal. So if you'd like to donate to that, you can just type in donate, go straight through there, and we'll once we've got 100, then we good to go with this. All right. I would, yeah, let's just set the target at 100. So again, what you guys can do is just share this message. All right. Get other fathers that you know involved in this. Get them to contribute, get them to share, get them to join in, come on the show, tell their stories. Every day I've got a new father reaching out saying, hey, I've seen this episode with that guy on, and it inspired me so much because I'm in exactly the same situation, and that has actually helped me quite a bit. I want to be a part of this. So you'd be surprised at what your story can do. You might be tired of telling it, other people might be tired of hearing it, but someone going through that exact same situation as you are, uh, can save their life. Right? I know it has for me, and it has for many other fathers so far. All right. Guys, that is the end of it from me. Are there any other ideas? Type them in the comments or come online to share. I mean, if you would like, I will just hoy that link in one more time here before we end off the show. You can come online, speak to me right now. Let me know what your ideas are. How can we make this thing bigger, better, and actually have some tangible solutions, something that brings change, not just complaints anymore. We're now working on action plan, and every day from this day forth, that's how we're going to do this with Pain SA. You might come in here broken, but once you fixed, you're going to work. You're going to work. You're going to help. You're going to do what you have to, so that we change this, not only for your children, right? Here's another thing that I just want to leave you guys with. Fighting for your own children is one thing, right? But when you fight for someone else's child, when you start taking the focus off of your own problem, you won't believe the healing that comes from that. And I'm speaking from personal experience here. I go live every day, and although my daughter's not speaking to me, I know that at some point in time, she's going to be seeing this. And if she ever asks me, what have you done to be in my life? Then well, then yeah, baby, go to the show there and go. You can actually find out for yourself. I'm not going to explain it to you, right? So don't believe your mother's lies. I've never given up on you. I just didn't want to focus on it because the rejection is so painful. And I know this is what a lot of fathers go through. In fact, I got a smiley face from when yesterday, 2 days ago. So let me not say I haven't had any contact with her anymore. I know that says so in the trailer, but yeah, I got a smiley face. I cracked the joke. Now I don't know if it's her or if it's the mother that controls her phone nowadays. Um, I don't know, but yeah, there's small breakthroughs that will eventually happen. And remember this one thing, I keep hearing this from a lot of fathers, is that when these kids grow up, they actually turn on their their alienating parent, right? So they actually find out what the truth is, and they find out how they've been lied to. And that's the hope we can have. If this thing takes forever to sort out, just don't give up hope, because when your child is old enough, he or she or they will come back to you. And well, hopefully they haven't been brainwashed enough to just step out of that and say, you know what, I had a relationship with my father, I remember it, I love my father, and I I don't want to associate myself with you anymore. This is what happens. It's not what I'm advocating. I do want my child to have a relationship with both parents. I don't want to have to fight. I I would never have started this podcast if it wasn't for me being alienated. I probably would have been servicing car dealerships like I used to, right? But yeah, I can't focus on that anymore. So Derek says rejections cannot defeat a court order. Hey, good point there, Derek. You're right. You're right. Rejections cannot. So I've just learned to be patient, right? I wait for the right time to strike. Uh, I've previously acted out of emotion, and I needed some time to actually deal with those emotions, deal with that, so that nothing can break me. Not even my child's emotions can, I mean, my child's rejection can break me. Nothing a judge says in court to me can throw me off. And when you're emotionally strong like that, when they can't control you with fear anymore, that's when you win. So yes, court order is one thing, but going in there all broken and frustrated and demanding assistance never has worked for me. I don't know if it's worked for you, but in this day and age here, your rights are only as good as your behavior, right? I should actually patent that. That's a quote. I think I'll make a quote card of that. Your rights are only as good as your behavior. What do you guys think? Right? Fight anger with love. It took me 6 years to figure that out. Etienne, it does always take us very long. I don't know why, but the sooner you figure this out, and it's true. It's so true. These are men who have gone through this. And again, guys, learn from these comments. Fight anger with love. Yeah, as much as you would like to expose everything, and I have done an episode on this. I do believe that exposing the truth is good, right? Because once the truth is out there, there's now time for reconciliation, there's time for healing, right? Your child cannot grow up with a whole bunch of lies about you, right? Because here's what happens, actually, from more research that I've done. Children can have such a vivid imagination where they kind of imagine you beating them. Like a child would actually say, remember that day that you took that wooden spoon and you hit me so hard and I had a blue mark. And you're like, that never ever happened. And just because the child has been brainwashed, told that all the time, that is, they could possibly paint that picture in their mind, actually replay it as if it actually happened. That's a scary thing that we deal with here, guys. So another tip, just if I could leave you with one more tip, is just try to maintain contact whichever way. And I'm giving this tip to myself as well, because I broke contact for a while because it was just hard to deal with. All right, but now I realize what that also does. That distance makes the child feel abandoned, and you should never let them feel abandoned, because that's probably what they're being told right now. Right? If there's anything else, Etienne, Derek, Clayton, guys, thanks for coming on and supporting. And just don't forget, share this podcast, share this episode, share any other episodes that you've got value from, that you've watched in the past. uh, Invite fathers. If there's a father that you can reach out to, that shares their story with you, if you come across these groups where they love complaining, bring them over here, bring them over to us, and let's figure this out together. Right? I know that a couple of fathers that I've spoken to, just sharing my experience one on one, giving the little bit of advice that I could. They're dealing with it a lot better. You get that second wind, and you can do that for someone else. Right? This is how we fight this thing. Right? Let us build a brotherhood of men that are taking back our rights. Okay, our rights that are already there, let's take them back. Right? Creed, color, nothing has to come in the way. If you are a man and you are being alienated from your child, you qualify. Right? You qualify to be part of this. Let's come together and help each other out. All right. Guys, thanks again for joining me. And tomorrow, we've got Derek on. I'm excited for this. Derek is quite the character, very confident. I'm looking forward to. Oh, by the way, Derek, just so you know, I did invite the ex. I'm not so sure if she's gonna join. I didn't get a reply. So let's hope. That would be great if both of you can come on, and there's no hearsay, there's no back and forth. After she watches your show tomorrow, your episode, that she comes on and wants to destroy you again. It would be nice if she just comes on and you guys, we sort things out finally, in the best interest of the child, like the term that we so love to use. Okay. So yeah, join us tomorrow at 7 with Derek, and he'll be sharing his story of how he made it through without lawyers and with some false allegations, false protection orders against him. Okay. So Derek, looking forward to that tomorrow. On that note, guys, stay safe, look after yourself. Please don't forget, type donate in the chat if you'd like to join that workshop. You'll be taken through to the chat bot. And on that note, have a good evening further. See you tomorrow.